911, do you have an emergency?
Today on Rescue 911, a rescue center for pets. Be there when animals need emergency treatment.
I just thought that she was going to die.
It could be your pet that needs rescuing.
You just have to be ready for anything because you don't know what's going to come in.
What sets some hospitals apart from the rest is the deep understanding the staff has of the fears and anxiety that patients and their loved ones experience. This story is not a recreation. It's a look inside a very special medical facility in New York City, where the best prescription for pain is a unique combination of skill and compassion.
An injured patient arrives by taxi at the Animal Medical Center.
People's pets, they're not just possessions, they're really members of the family. And when people call me on the telephone, they'll say, I'm Oscar's mother, or I'm Cuckoo's father.
Hey, so what exactly happened to your pig?
We were giving him a bath and his, one of his back hooves snapped.
Yeah. Well, how much has it been bleeding since?
A lot. It's been bleeding a lot.
Okay, a doctor will be in to have a look at your pig in just a few minutes.
You just have to be ready for anything because you don't know what's going to come in.
And who is this?
Dr. Laurie Heath examines Ned, the pot-bellied pig.
And did he hit it on the edge of the tub?
No, I think he put his weight on it weird when he got in.
Okay, why don't we get him up on this table?
Anytime you try to handle a pig, they'll squeal, and they'll squeal loudly. If you're going to do this on a regular basis, work with pigs, you really need to wear earplugs or your hearing can be affected.
Calm down, boy.
What are all these people doing here, huh? What are they doing?
He had indeed ripped his whole nail off his claw.
All right.
Okay. Let go.
I thought that we should have a surgeon look at it to determine whether or not he had the bone exposed underneath.
Hi, Ned. Hi, Ned. I tried to look at him on his level and on his terms. Attaboy.
One person was at one end working on his foot while I was at the other end feeding him. He could have cared less about what we were doing as long as he had his party mix.
There was every indication that a new nail would grow back on its own as long as we could keep the open area clean.
And you don't want the infection to get in the bone because then he's going to lose the toe anyways, and it can become a systemic infection, and it'll never heal. So we're in a grace period. It's contaminated, but probably not infected yet. Flush it real good and start him on a systemic antibiotic. For pigs.
When we continue.
We need to get him cooled down because he was over 106 degrees Fahrenheit. The next thing that went was his heart.
Every day, all across America, unsung heroes are on the scene, saving lives. Witness courage and compassion in action. Paramedics, next on Discovery Health Channel.
When Chloe, a 9-month-old Bichon Frise who ingested some poison, is brought in, Director of Counseling, Susan Cohen, goes to speak with her owner.
I was told that there was a very distraught woman with a sick dog and that she needed help.
Okay, what's going on? I don't know the nature. She was fine. I got home at 5:30. I had left her all day.
On the wood floor, I had used a cleaning substance. She probably licked it up. I just thought that she was going to die.
Deep breathe, okay? Yeah, it's a ticket. That's good. That's good. That's a ticket. The doctor's here. She's going to say, what's your dog's name?
Chloe.
Chloe. Hey, Chloe. He's sweet thing. It's, of course, human nature to be upset when somebody you love appears to be getting sick and maybe dying, or has maybe consumed poison. I mean, all of us would be upset.
Hi, guess who I found?
When tests on Chloe are completed, Anne is updated on her condition.
What we're going to do is start her on some fluids into her vein to support her overnight in case.
They told me that her liver had been attacked by a toxic substance and that Chloe would have to stay in the hospital, but they reassured me that she probably was going to be okay.
An injured owl found in a quarry is brought in by a wildlife preservation team.
We went out to get him, and by the next day we were noticing that he wasn't looking at things. He was tracking with his ears. So we brought him to veterinarian, and they established that he had cataracts.
Ophthalmologist Susan Kirshner examines the owl to determine the extent of eye damage.
It's all right, little guy. Birds are very, very prone to damage to the retina part of the eye. The only way that I could see his retinas was to do an ultrasound of his eyes.
See, that space is not supposed to be there, and I'm concerned that that may be, at least in this eye, a detached retina. So let's do the other eye. It's okay, sweetie. The left eye had one small part of the retina that looked as if it was still intact. So I thought that with a little luck, we might be able to restore at least partial vision to one eye. I'm very happy that they had found Bartimaeus because his chances for living in that quarry would have been nothing.
Within 2 hours of being brought in, Ned the pig is ready to go home.
We flushed it with an antiseptic solution and put a bandage around it. He should come back tomorrow for a 24-hour recheck and let us evaluate it at that time. It's pretty much stopped bleeding, and I don't think you'll have a problem with it.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you guys will probably order lots of party mix now.
In case we have any more pigs coming.
Some days are very sad and you're on an emotional roller coaster constantly. So when something nice happens or something funny and comic, it's always nice, especially when it turns out so well.
Bye. Bye, Ned. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Okay. Bye.
Arnold, a 5-year-old English bulldog, is rushed into the emergency room.
He was having so much difficulty breathing, and he was starting to turn a little blue.
Dr. Laurie Gordon is in charge of his care.
He collapsed just as we got him back to the prep room.
Somebody getting a mask?
Is he breathing at all? Let's get him intubated.
Got me a line, laryngoscope.
Tape, you got it in?
Yeah, it's in.
Let's get some nice cool fluids. Let's get a bag of...
We need to get him cooled down because he was over 106 degrees Fahrenheit.
Can you get a bowl of cold water while you're over there? Can I have another bag of fluids, please?
Despite our getting oxygen into him as soon as possible, the next thing that went was his heart. We tried cardiac resuscitation to try to start the heart again.
Is he getting oxygen?
Okay, we got another line. Chair to stand on.
Any pulses? Did you get anything getting through? Let's wait on the opening his chest. Come on, pal.
We could not get a normal rhythm back.
You got a pulse?
No. I don't think he's got anything. He's got nothing.
He's fixed and dilated.
After working on Arnold for 20 minutes, doctors pronounce him dead.
We literally say goodbye. Goodbye, Arnold, pet him, and mentally wish him well. Just like a human. No one likes to lose a patient.
It's not, I'm afraid, in this state.
What?
I'm afraid we
He's
couldn't.
dead?
He's dead.
He died?
He's died, yeah.
It's not just the animal, it's the person who owns them, too. There's a lot of emotion involved.
In the car, he started to breathe real quick.
Is this on the west side?
He's dead.
These are best friends. These are creatures who give love back unconditionally. They're always there to love you.
Coming up next, paramedics. And later, meet the real heroes of emergency medicine on trauma, life in the ER. Right here on Discovery Health Channel.
It won't be too tough for us to know whether he can see better.
Dr. Kirshner performs the delicate eye surgery on Bartimaeus the owl.
This bird has had some trauma to the inside of the eye, so that there are a lot more little rips and tears than usual, so I'm going to have to kind of work around those. It was a long surgery because he had some other damage in his eye that we had to take care of. Birds have very different cataracts in texture, like curdled milk, and it makes it a little bit more difficult than it would be in another species. We were just going for that small chance that we could give him a little bit of sight. Even if he is not able to see well enough to go completely free, I'm at least optimistic that he will see light and dark and will be able to see the sun, and we'll basically just follow him from here. He's hanging in there. He's a good, strong bird.
Hello? Hi, Barbara?
Down the hall, Susan calls Barbara Tate to comfort her on the loss of her bulldog, Arnold.
Yeah, I heard about Arnold, and I just called to see how you're doing. I was totally taken aback. I didn't think...
It's nice to have somebody understand that it's really like a member of your family.
I've had dogs over the years, and he was the sweetest dog I ever had. He was also the dumbest. I think...
And unless you have somebody you can talk to that's lost a pet, that loved a pet, people that don't have pets just think you're nuts.
You miss Arnold?
When she was a little tiny puppy, Arnold just fell in love.
You care?
Arnold thought we had brought home a little wind-up toy for him to play with. And so Arnold just followed the dog around the house wherever he went. We were a little worried because Arnold was so big and clumsy. I thought he was going to step on her. So sometimes we would lock her up in the crate just to keep her safe, and Arnold would just lay on his belly outside the crate and look moon-faced at this dog. Arnold was unique. No dog was ever like Arnold. He was just so sweet.
After 2 days in the hospital, Chloe has recovered enough to be released.
I did miss her dearly, so...
Chloe, honey. You okay? Look at me. Chloe, do you recognize me?
I've grown very, very attached to her. She's like a child. She relies on me for everything, so you feel very needed.
Yeah, you're wagging your tail. Give me a kiss.
I'm fortunate to have the animal hospital in New York City. I know if the animal hospital weren't here, I don't know if Chloe would have survived.
Are you okay, honey? Yes?
Come on.
6 days after Ned injured his foot, he's healed enough to once again enjoy the things he loves most.
Occasionally we'll take him out for a walk and he'll graze and whatever.
He's found some grass. Sure.
He's very affectionate and he likes people a lot. Just neat having him around.
He's always getting in stuff, and always has to be on my lap if I'm sitting down. He's my baby.
We have a very powerful response to animals. They're completely accepting of us. They're never going to get up and read our diary to the whole 5th grade class. They're never going to make us stand in the corner because we flunked algebra. They're never going to take the car away because we put a dent in it. They think we are terrific exactly the way we are. And I wish I had $1 for every person who sat across from me and said, "This is the only person in my whole life who has ever really loved me just the way I am."
Next.
That sounds good. Jamie was a very careless driver. She drove much too fast. She never would wear her seatbelt.
Mr. Shapiro, step out of the car, please.